the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we at Calgary Pride wish to honor and acknowledge Mohkinstsis and the traditional Treaty 7 territory and oral practices of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, and Yarhe Nakota and Tsuut'ina First Nations. We acknowledge that the territory we inhabit is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, within the historical Northwest Métis homeland.
Well, hello there, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, Calgary. Welcome back to Pridecast. Your host tonight needs no introduction. And from some people's opinion, let's not give her one. Just kidding. It's me. It's Carly. It's nice to see everybody out there. And for all of you that would like to know, my pronouns are he or him or she or her. Feel free to use them any way you see fit. Thank you. Today, I'm going to give you guys a recap of this week's hottest community events, news, and Pride FAQs. So before we get things started today, I thought it'd be fun to give you guys a little herstory lesson. Now, for those of you that know, I'm older than dirt. For those of you that don't, thank you very much. It's so sweet of you. I know I look fabulous. However, herstory is very important for all of the kids out there. And today's herstory lesson is going to talk about the word drag. Now, there are a lot of opinions out there for many, many, many different people that know or think of what they think the word drag came from. Now, for myself, the word drag is very important. And when I was a younger queen, I've always wondered where that term came from. And what was explained to me back in the old days, and be careful how many of you consider and agree with that. The word drag came from theater plays. It was seen in the very early forms of them. So back in the days of like Shakespeare and things like that, you would find that women were not allowed to participate in the theater, among other things. Men, usually adolescent boys, would play and dress the female roles in each of these. Now, what I understood the word drag to mean is that in these Shakespearean plays and all the other works of art back then, is when you would get a script, if say, for example, Romeo and Juliet, Romeo would be there with the, of course, the actions of the actor. And then in Juliet, it would have in the parentheses, dressed as girl, or D-R-A-G. And that's basically what I understood that drag stood for, is that because these men had to play the female roles, it would be dressed as girl. And hence what I am right now in front of you, dressed as a beautiful woman. So I hope that lesson really educates everyone on sort of the history of the word drag, at least for me. It could be different for everybody else. Check Wikipedia. I'll be updating it later with my opinion. Thanks. Before we get into this week's event, I want to talk about a very significant date that's coming up, July 14th. For those of you that don't know, July 14th is International Non-Binary People's Day. It's a wonderful day. We have to celebrate it. For more on this wonderful day to celebrate, let me introduce two fabulous non-binary friends of mine from Calgary Pride.
Hi, my name is Parker. I'm the Executive Director with Calgary Pride, and I use they, them pronouns.
Awesome. And I'm Elliot. I'm the Executive Assistant with Calgary Pride, and I also use they, them pronouns. International Non-Binary People's Day, or Non-Binary Day. I feel like I'm just going to call it that now. Started in 2012, and really this is just a day for us to bring awareness to non-binary people and different identities that exist on the gender spectrum that aren't necessarily man or woman.
I think there's a lot of things that we can tangibly do day in and day out to be better allies, both within the community and outside of that community. And as it relates to the non-binary identity, well, all identities really, if we were to begin normalizing the use of pronouns in our language and when we're introducing people or in our email signatures, that's an excellent way to engage.
Folks can definitely start by prioritizing gender neutral language when they're referring to people, whether it's people that you know, but you don't know how they identify themselves gender-wise, or whether it's a big group of people that you don't know.
Happy Non-Binary Day to all of you beautiful, beautiful, gender dynamic, gender diverse, non-binary, incredible contributors in the world. We see you.
We love you.
You matter.
Thanks, Parker and Elliot. Don't we love them? I do. Remember when I was going to talk about community events? Well, we're at that time, and I don't mean community events by me, but I am an event. However, I'd love to talk about a great way that you can get informed. Calgary Pride is expanding its learning series, covering a wide range of topics surrounding diversity and inclusion. Join James Demers for a fun and informative workshop on trans and non-binary gender identities. This session will cover language, experience, and tips for developing your understanding of trans-identified people. This webinar will also explore the many ways to engage as an effective ally, both in a personal and professional context, and will leave participants with practical tools to help develop new relationships with the gender and sexually diverse community. The online learning series are presented with support from Employment and Social Development Canada, Calgary Foundation, the Canadian Red Cross, and Calgary Queer Arts Society. You can RSVP on ShowPass using the link shown on your screen. This link, not this link. And in the video description. You can also check out all of the learning series events by checking out Calgary Pride on Facebook. Now comes a part of the night where I have so much love for. It's about me. Thanks so much. I thought I'd let everybody out there know, for any of you that don't know who I am, and if you don't, where have you been? Under a rock? I mean, really. Carly's Angels is a show that I concepted back in 2000. Can you believe it? 2000. Some of you were not even born then. Just really upsetting. Makes me feel a little young, but whatever. But in November 5th of 2000, I was approached by a wonderful, wonderful restaurant owner down in Inglewood at a restaurant at the time that was called the Village Hearth and Terrace. It eventually grew into the Village Cantina, and then it was sold to another restaurant called Salt and Pepper. We have now, coming up November 5th of 2020, will be our 20th year at this show. And it is, I mean, you can't tell, can you? Can you? Good. That's the right answer. It's our 20th anniversary. Now, unfortunately, due to the events of COVID, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. Of course, we've been resting, eating, and all of the above. But unfortunately, of course, we're hoping to come back. Now, our season started in September, and it goes right through to July. And we're hoping that we can just come back for our next season, which will be our 20th season, starting the second week of September. So check us out on carlysangels.ca. You can also check out the restaurant as well. It's Lolita's Lounge or Salt and Pepper in Inglewood. And as well, you can purchase your tickets, etc. on Eventbrite. We don't have them up yet, but we're waiting and hopefully, of course, with our current climate to figure out when we can come back. And then we will be posting, of course, that information on our Facebook page, as well as our Instagram page, and of course, carlysangels.ca. Thanks so much, guys. Love you. Look at this old queen, 20 years. I started when I was 6. The last on our list of fabulous events, kids, of course, are you guys Drag Race Canada excited? Oh my God, I'm so excited for it. Aren't you? I mean, honestly, it's Ontario Drag Race, but I mean, whatever. We'll have our chance next year. I mean, I did audition. I know lots of queens in Calgary that auditioned. I mean, I'm probably the only one that got a callback, though, of course. But I mean, that's all I got, of course, was a callback. So we're hoping and exciting, of course, but we have a fantastic event happening on Thursdays at Twisted Element. If you guys want to watch it live and have a fantastic evening with food, drinks, prizes, and of course, a fantastic host, as she likes to say, Miss Mona Moore is a great name. You should learn it. Make sure you check her out down at Twisted Element for the Canada Drag Race viewing party. It's gonna be so fun, guys. It starts at 6 p.m. As I said, food, drinks, and trivia and prizes. Drag show to follow shortly with some of Calgary's finest, this is my favorite part, rejected performers. I have a whole list. I'm not gonna share that with you right now, but it's a large list of rejected performers. There's nothing else happening at Twisted for the rest of the week. Just kidding, guys. Check out twistedelement.ca for all the fantastic events they have. They have turned it into Twisted Pride Pub. It is so great. They have a full kitchen coming out, guys. Make sure you support this wonderful, wonderful business. This has been around for over 10 years. And make sure you guys go down and check out all the wonderful shows and events that are happening there. And also come see us in Inglewood once in a while, okay? Seating, of course, is limited due to physical distancing restrictions, of course, and you have to reserve your spot ahead. But make sure you check out all the events at Twisted. Thanks to everyone for tuning into this week's Pridecast. You can find all the links for all the events that we discussed today in the video description, but be sure to check them all out. Support everybody that I've mentioned today, of course, Carly's Angels, Twisted Element, Pride Calgary, oh my goodness. Don't forget to tune in next week because our amazing host will be the incredible Vanta Black. Okay, Vanta, now fade to black. Perfect. You can tune in to Pridecast every Friday at 4 p.m. MDT. What is MDT? Is that mountain drag time? Oh, don't worry then. It'll be at 6 p.m. Just kidding. Of course, 4 p.m. Check it out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, Twitch. I hope you guys stay safe out there. Thanks for joining us today. Happy Pride, everyone. Celebrate it any way you can, and we hope to see you soon. My name is Carly York Jones. Check us out at Carly's Angels, and we'll see you again. Thanks. Good night. Mwah.